This video is about the single mom stood near the night market and a billionaire handed her an umbrella. If this story touches your heart, please mention where you are watching from in the comments. Please like the video and share your thoughts in comments. The night market was a riot of colors and sounds, a whirlpool of laughter, sizzling street food, and the fragrant wafts of spices that danced in the humid air. Britta stood on the edge of the crowd, her heart racing with equal parts excitement and trepidation. She had promised her daughter, Lily, a visit to the market, knowing how much she loved the vibrant stalls filled with trinkets, toys, and the sweet aroma of cotton candy. But tonight was different. The sky was thick with dark clouds, threatening rain. Britta had come only to see her daughter's eyes light up, but she felt a knot of anxiety twist in her stomach. "Mommy, look!" Lily exclaimed, tugging at Britta's sleeve, her small face illuminated with delight as she pointed at a stall selling glittering hairpins. Her chestnut curls bounced as she danced on her toes. "Just a moment, sweetheart." Britta forced a smile, glancing up at the sky. The first droplets of rain began to fall, cold and uninvited, splattering against the pavement and sending shoppers scurrying. "Mommy, please." Lily's voice rose above the commotion. Okay, Britta replied, her heart sinking. She felt a sudden pang of guilt. She had promised to make this night special, yet here she was, worrying about the rain instead of joining in on her daughter's excitement. As they approached the stall, Britta rummaged through her pocket for change, her fingers brushing against the smooth edges of a worn-out coin. The vendor, an older woman with a warm smile, showed Lily various hairpins, each one more dazzling than the last. Suddenly, a booming voice interrupted the moment. "Excuse me, is this little one stealing your heart?" Britta turned, startled. Before her stood a tall man, his silhouette almost shadowing the vibrant lights of the market. He was impeccably dressed, his tailored navy blazer hugging his broad shoulders, and his dark hair was styled effortlessly. "Excuse me?" Britta asked, her brow furrowing. Was this man really addressing her, a single mom trying to navigate this bustling market with a fidgety child? He chuckled softly, his deep voice warm and inviting. "I just meant that she seems to have a flair for the dazzling. She might just be your best accessory." Lily giggled, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "I am not stealing her heart, I am picking my favorite hairpin." The man's gaze shifted to Britta, and for a moment she felt exposed under his intense scrutiny. "Sorry, I didn't mean to intrude," he said with a charming smile. "I am Oliver. I just thought it was heartwarming to see a mother and daughter enjoying their time together, even in the rain." "Britta," she replied, trying to keep her tone steady. "And that's just a quick trip. We don't want to get caught in the rain, do we, Lily?" Lily shook her head, her eyes still fixed on the hairpins. "Mommy, I want this one." She held up a delicate pin adorned with colorful stones, oblivious to the adult exchange happening around her. As Britta fumbled for money, the rain intensified, a sudden downpour soaking the pavement and turning the once vibrant market into a slippery chaos. Britta's heart raced, her mind racing with thoughts of getting Lily home safely. Just as she was about to tell her daughter they needed to leave, Oliver stepped closer, holding an umbrella that had seemingly appeared from nowhere. "Here," he said, extending the umbrella with a flourish, his eyes locked onto hers. "Take this, I can let you both get drenched." Britta hesitated, her instincts kicking in. "No, it's all right. It's just a little rain." "Please," he urged, his voice slow and earnest. "I insist. I can in good conscience let you and your daughter walk in this. I'll be fine." A flash of uncertainty flickered in her mind. Was it appropriate to accept such a gesture from a complete stranger? And yet, something in the sincerity of his gaze made her heart flutter involuntarily. "Thank you," she finally said, taking the umbrella. It felt surprisingly light in her hands. Just then, Lily squealed in delight, her hairpin clutched tightly, oblivious to the moment unfolding around her. "Look, Mummy, I got it." Lily grinned, her joy infectious. Britta couldn't help but smile back at her daughter. "That's beautiful, sweetheart." She turned to Oliver, catching a glimpse of a playful spark in his eyes. "You really didn't have to do this." "I wanted to," he replied with a disarming smile. "It's not every day I see a mother so dedicated to making her daughter happy." His words struck a chord deep within Britta. "It is important to me. She is my whole world," she said, her voice softening. "Not an easy job, I imagine," he said, his tone shifting slightly. "Single parenting can be daunting." A shadow of sadness crossed Britta's face before she quickly masked it with a smile. "You have no idea," she said lightly, trying to brush off the hint of vulnerability. "But it's worth it." Oliver nodded, as if understanding more than she had shared. "I respect that. I am in a different world, but I admire those who juggle so much with grace." As they spoke, Britta felt a warmth bloom in her chest, an unexpected connection. She glanced at her daughter, who was now inspecting the hairpin with wide-eyed wonder. "You have a child, then?" she ventured, curiosity getting the better of her. "Not yet," he replied, a hint of wistfulness in his tone. "But I've seen enough of life to know the importance of family." Lily tugged at Britta's arm, pulling her attention back to the hairpin. "It is so pretty, Mommy. Can we get it?" "Of course, darling. Let us get it before we be washed away," she replied, a smirk playing on her lips. As the vendor wrapped the hairpin in delicate tissue paper, Oliver shifted slightly, leaning against a nearby post. "You've raised a spirited girl. That must take a lot of love and effort. What is your secret?" Britta caught his gaze, feeling a flutter of something unnameable interest, perhaps. "Honestly, it's just about being there for her. I try to listen, to be present." "What about you? What do you do for yourself?" The question caught her off guard. She hadn't thought about herself in ages. I work a lot. I have to provide for us, but I guess when I can, I like to read or watch old movies maybe." "Do you have a favorite?" Oliver asked, his tone lightening, but there was a glimmer of something deeper in his eyes. "Probably something cheesy like breakfast at Tiffany's," she admitted, surprised at how easily she was sharing. "I know it is clear, but there is something about it that makes me feel nostalgic." He laughed softly, the sound warm and genuine. "I could appreciate a good Audrey Hepburn film. She had a way of making everything look beautiful, didn't she?" "Yes, she did," Britta said, the warmth of the conversation wrapping around her like a cozy blanket. As they spoke, the rain began to ease, the damper shifting to a gentle drizzle. Britta felt her heart race slightly, the air between them crackling with an unspoken tension. It was odd, this connection they had built in such a short time. "I should let you go now," Oliver said, glancing toward the thinning crowd. "But it was really nice meeting you both." "Thank you for the umbrella," Britta replied, her voice steady, though her heart felt different. "And for the hairpin advice." "Anytime," he said with a charming smile, his gaze lingering on her just a moment longer. "Take care of yourself, Britta." As he turned to leave, Britta couldn't help but feel a flutter of curiosity. Who was this man who had so easily found his way into her evening? And as she watched him blend into the crowd, a small part of her wished he hadn't. There was something magnetic about him, something that stirred a longing she thought was long dormant. "Mommy, can we come back tomorrow?" Lily's voice broke through her thoughts, bright and innocent. "Of course, sweetheart," Britta replied, though her mind lingered on the man with the umbrella, the unexpected intersection of their lives hanging in the air like the last few drops of rain. The next day dawned bright and clear, washing away the remnants of the previous night's storm. Britta stood in the kitchen, the scent of freshly brewed coffee mingling with the sweet aroma of pancakes sizzling on the stove. Lily danced around the living room, her laughter filling their small apartment, a sound Britta cherished more than anything. "Can we go again, Mommy?" Lily piped up, her wide eyes filled with anticipation as she skipped over to the table. She was still wearing the hairpin Oliver had gifted her, its colorful stones glinting in the morning light. Britta hesitated, a slight flutter of uncertainty stirring in her chest. Seeing Oliver again was a tantalizing thought, but it also stirred a sense of vulnerability she wasn't sure she was ready to confront. "I don't know, sweetie. The market can get crowded, and we need to." "Please, Lily's voice rose, her little hands clasped together in a pleading gesture. "You promised. I love it there, and maybe we can see that nice man again." Britta's heart skipped a beat at the mention of Oliver. She quickly masked her surprise with a smile. Okay, we'll go back, just for a little while. Let me finish breakfast first." "Yay." Lily cheered, bounding back to her seat. As Britta plated the pancakes, she couldn't help but reflect on their brief encounter. There was something about Oliver that intrigued her. He was kind, charming, and so unlike anyone she had met in recent years. But could she really entertain the idea of a connection with someone like him? A man of means, with a life far removed from her own? After breakfast, they dressed in matching raincoats, Lily insisting on wearing her new hairpin, which gave her an air of confidence. "I am a princess, Mommy," she declared as she twirled in front of the mirror. "You look like the most beautiful princess in the world," Britta replied, smoothing down her daughter's curls. With a final glance in the mirror, they ventured out into the sun-drenched day, not a cloud in sight. The market was buzzing with life when they arrived, the air vibrant with the chatter of vendors and customers. Britta felt a sense of excitement wash over her, the energy palpable. As they wandered from stall to stall, she caught glimpses of familiar faces, yet her mind often wandered back to Oliver. "Look, Mommy, can we get that?" Lily tugged at Britta's sleeve, pointing at the stall adorned with bright, colourful toys. Sure, let us check it out, Britta replied, but her eyes scanned the crowd, hoping to catch a glimpse of the man who had momentarily captured her attention. As they approached the stall, Britta felt her heart lurch when she spotted him. Oliver was immersed in conversation with the vendor, a warm smile on his face. He wore a short-sleeved linen shirt, the fabric clinging to his toned arms, and for a moment she was lost in the way he exuded charisma. Lily, oblivious to the unspoken tension, tugged Britta toward the stall, where colourful toys lay scattered like jewels on a treasure chest. "Mommy, look at this one. Can I have it, please?" "Of course, darling," Britta said, her voice slightly breathless as she turned back to Oliver. She was surprised to see him walking toward her, a look of surprise and delight lighting up his features. "Britta, fancy seeing you here," he said, his voice warm and inviting. "Oliver," she replied, her heart racing in a mix of excitement and nervousness. "This is my daughter, Lily." "Hi, Lily." Oliver crouched down, his eyes twinkling. "I see you found something special." Lily held up a sparkly unicorn toy, her eyes shining. "It is so pretty. Can I have it, Mommy?" "Of course, sweetheart," Britta replied, her heart soaring at her daughter's joy. She glanced at Oliver, who was watching them with an amused expression. "Thank you for the umbrella last night. It really saved us from getting soaked." "Anytime," Oliver replied, the warmth in his gaze making Britta's cheeks flush. "I am just glad to see you both enjoying the market." "Do you come here often?" she asked, trying to keep the conversation flowing. "Not as often as I'd like. Work keeps me busy." His smile faded slightly, and Britta couldn't help but notice the flicker of something deeper in his eyes, a hint of longing, perhaps. "What do you do?" she asked, curiosity getting the better of her. "I work in real estate," he replied, his tone casual, though there was an underlying seriousness to it. "It can be rewarding, but it also takes a toll on personal time." Britta nodded, her own thoughts drifting to her job at the local library. "I can relate. I work a lot too, just to keep up with everything. It is tough sometimes." "Do you enjoy it?" Oliver leaned in slightly, his interest piqued. "I do, actually. I love books. They read like little escapes for me, especially when life gets overwhelming." Britta's voice softened, and she realized just how much she valued the fleeting moments of connection. "Books are powerful. They can transport you to places you never dreamed of," he said thoughtfully, his gaze unwavering. "What is the last book you read?" Pride and Prejudice," she said, feeling a little shy. "I've always loved the wit and romance in it." "Ah, a classic. Jane Austen had a way of capturing the complexities of love," he remarked, his eyes holding hers as if challenging her to delve deeper into the subject. Britta's heart raced at the intensity of his gaze. "What about you? Any favorites?" He smiled, a hint of mischief dancing in his eyes. "I am a sucker for suspense. Anything by Agatha Christie. There is nothing like a good whodunit." Lily interrupted, her voice bright and cheerful. "Mommy, can I play with my unicorn now?" "Of course, sweetie," Britta replied, watching as Lily scampered off to explore the nearby stalls. She turned back to Oliver, suddenly aware of the shift in their dynamic. "She really loves the market." "And you're doing a wonderful job with her," he said, sincerity lacing his voice. "It is clear she adores you." Britta felt a blush creeping to her cheeks. "Thank you. It is not always easy." "I can imagine," he said, his tone turning serious. "Single parenting is a journey filled with challenges." "True, but it is also rewarding," she said, feeling a surge of determination. "Lily is my everything." Just then, a sudden gust of wind blew through the market, sending chills down Britta's spine. She noticed Oliver's brow furrowing slightly, as if sensing her uncertainty. "Are you all right?" he asked, the concern evident in his voice. "I am fine," she replied quickly, but a part of her felt exposed, like she had revealed too much too soon. "It is just I don't know. It has been a long time since I've talked to someone like this." "Someone like me?" he teased, a playful glimmer in his eyes. "Not like that," she laughed softly, her heart fluttering at the unexpected chemistry. "I just mean it has been a long time since I've connected with someone outside of my routine." "I get that," he said, his tone softening. "Life can become a blow when you're refocused on responsibilities." The intensity of their conversation seemed to create an invisible barrier around them, separating them from the bustling chaos of the market. Britta could feel the tension, a sensation both thrilling and terrifying. "Maybe we should do this again," Oliver suggested, his voice slow and inviting. "Do what?" she asked, her heart racing. explore the market, have a coffee, just to spend more time together, he said, his gaze steady, as if challenging her to accept the invitation. Britta's breath caught in her throat. Before she could finish, Lily returned, her eyes wide with excitement. Look, Mommy, I made a new friend. Britta turned to see a little girl clutching a bright pink balloon, her smile infectious. That's wonderful, Lily, she said, forcing a smile to mask the sudden rush of emotion swelling inside her. As the little girl waved goodbye and ran off, Britta felt a gentle hand on her arm. We should definitely continue this conversation, Oliver said softly, his eyes holding hers with an intensity that made her heart race. Okay, she finally breathed, feeling a mix of exhilaration and fear. I do like that. Great, he replied, his smile warm and genuine. I'll get your number, and we can set something up. Britta nodded, her heart fluttering at the prospect, though a small voice in her head whispered doubts. Did she really invite someone like him into her life? As they exchanged numbers, she felt a twinge of excitement mixed with hesitation. Take care of yourself, Britta, Oliver said, his voice low and intimate as he stepped back, allowing her a moment to breathe. You too, Oliver, she replied, her pulse racing as he turned to walk away. She watched him. As Oliver walked away, Britta felt a whirlwind of emotions. The gentle hum of the market faded into a distant murmur as she stood there, her heart pounding in her chest. She glanced down at Lily, who was still lost in her own world, a new unicorn toy swinging from her grasp. Mommy, can we go to the toy stall again? Lily's voice was bright with enthusiasm, but Britta was still caught in the moment with Oliver, his presence lingering like warmth in the air. Sure, sweetheart. Britta forced a smile, trying to shake off the haze of their conversation. But as they walked, her mind kept drifting back to the way his eyes had sparkled with interest when he spoke to her, the way he had made her feel seen. Are you okay, Mommy? Lily asked, her brow furrowing in concern as she tugged at Britta's sleeve. I am fine, darling, Britta assured her, kneeling down to meet her daughter's gaze. Just thinking about some grown-up things. Like what? Lily tilted her head, her innocent curiosity a welcome distraction. Just about making friends, she replied, not wanting to divulge too much. The truth was complicated, tangled with insecurities and hopes that felt too raw to share with her daughter. Friends are fun, Lily said, her voice brightening. You should get more friends, Mommy, like that nice man. Britta chuckled lightly, brushing a stray curl behind Lily's ear. Maybe I will. Let us focus on having fun right now, okay? Okay. Lily grinned, and Britta felt her heart swell. The joy of motherhood was a complex tapestry woven with threads of love, worry, and hope for the future. As they made their way back to the toy stall, Britta couldn't shake the feeling of Oliver's gaze. Was it so wrong to hope for something beyond their brief exchange? She had built walls around her heart since her marriage fell apart, and yet Oliver had managed to slip through, igniting a spark she thought had long since faded. At the stall, Lily's eyes widened once more as she spotted a colorful kite. Mommy, look, can we get that one? It's beautiful, sweetie, Britta replied, her heart warming at her daughter's excitement. If you can help me pick out a few more things, we might just have enough. Lily beamed, her enthusiasm infectious as they selected a few more toys and treats. Each moment spent together was a reminder of the joy that motherhood could bring, but Britta couldn't shake the nagging thought of Oliver lingering on the edges of her mind. When they finally left the market, a sense of satisfaction washed over Britta. The day had turned out well, despite her initial apprehension. Yet, as they walked home, the weight of unsaid words and unacknowledged feelings lingered like a fog. Later that evening, after putting Lily to bed, Britta found herself pacing in the living room, her thoughts a chaotic blend of excitement and uncertainty. She picked up her phone and glanced at Oliver's message from earlier. It simple, it was great seeing you today, hope to talk soon, inciting a flurry of butterflies in her stomach. Taking a deep breath, she began typing back, her fingers hesitating over the keys. What should she say? She wanted to sound casual but also express her interest. After a few minutes of deliberation, she finally settled on, It was nice seeing you too, we should definitely explore more together sometime. Sending the message felt akin to stepping off a cliff, exhilarating and terrifying all at once. Would he think she was too eager? Would he think she was just looking for a distraction from her responsibilities? As the minutes ticked by without a reply, Britta tried to distract herself with TV. But she couldn't shake the gnawing feeling of vulnerability that washed over her. What if Oliver saw her differently? What if he was just being kind, not genuinely interested? She caught herself frowning, her mind racing with thoughts. It had been so long since she had allowed herself to be open to someone new. but something about Oliver made her want to dive headfirst into the unknown. Just as she was about to call it a night, her phone lit up with a message. Absolutely, how about Friday evening? There's a new cafe that opened up nearby. Britta stared at the screen for a moment, a smile blooming on her face. Friday sounds perfect, I can't wait, she replied quickly, her heart fluttering. The exhilaration of anticipation surged within her. Could this be the beginning of something new? She felt a tingle of excitement and anxiety sweep through her. Friday arrived, and Britta stood in front of the mirror, running her fingers through her hair. She selected a simple but flattering outfit, a soft sweater that accentuated her figure paired with dark jeans. It had been ages since she had dressed up for someone, and the nerves fluttering in her stomach made her feel alive in a way she hadn't anticipated. "Mommy, are you going out?" Lily peeked into the room, her eyes wide with curiosity. "Yes, but just for a little while. You'll be asleep when I get back," Britta replied, her heart warming at the thought of her daughter's innocent questions. "Will you have fun? You should wear a crown." Lily giggled, her imagination bursting forth. "A crown, ha, I'll think about it," Britta smiled, giving her a soft kiss on the forehead. "You're my little princess, remember? Always." Lily beamed, and Britta felt a pang of affection for her daughter, the love enveloping her like a comforting blanket. As the evening unfolded, Britta found herself standing outside the cafe, her heart racing. The warm glow of light spilled onto the street, creating an inviting atmosphere. Taking a deep breath to steady her nerves, she stepped inside, scanning the bustling room for Oliver. There he was, leaning against the bar, looking effortlessly charming in a fitted shirt. He spotted her and straightened, his face lighting up with a smile that sent a rush of warmth through her. "Britta," he called, his voice cutting through the chatter. "You look amazing." "Thank you," she replied, her cheeks flushing. "You look great too." As they settled into a cozy corner of the cafe, the conversation flowed easily. Oliver spoke with passion about his recent projects, his enthusiasm infectious. Britta found herself hanging on to his every word, captivated by his energy, his confidence. "What about you, Britta? What is your work like?" he asked, his gaze piercing yet warm. "I work at a library," she shared, her heart swelling with pride. "It is fulfilling, but also challenging at times. I love being surrounded by stories, though." "I can see why," he said, leaning forward slightly, his eyes sparkling. "Books have a way of shaping our perspectives, don't they? What is the last book that changed your view?" Britta paused, considering his question. "Probably The Alchemist," she said thoughtfully. "It is about following your dreams and the journey it takes to get there, which resonates with me." Oliver nodded, his expression thoughtful. "It is powerful, isn't it? The idea that sometimes we find what we were looking for in unexpected places." "Exactly," she replied, a sense of connection blooming between them. "It is about the journey, not just the destination." Their eyes locked, and Britta felt the air thicken with unspoken chemistry. For a moment, it felt like they were the only two people in the room, the bustling cafe fading into the background. Just then, Oliver reached across the table, his hand brushing against hers in a fleeting yet electrifying moment. "I really appreciate you coming out tonight," he said, his voice slow and sincere. "I am glad I did," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. But just as the moment deepened, a couple at the next table erupted into laughter, breaking the spell. Britta pulled her hand back, feeling the heat rise to her cheeks. "It is nice here. The atmosphere is really lively," she said, forcing her mind back to safe ground. "Lively indeed," Oliver chuckled, though his eyes still held a glimmer of mischief. As they continued to talk, Britta felt herself relaxing, the banter infused with a delicious tension that made her pulse quicken. She found herself laughing more, her worries about the past slipping away. But as the evening wore on, she noticed Oliver glancing at his watch. "I should probably get going soon," he said, though his tone held a reluctance that made her heart sink. "Oh, okay," she replied, trying to mask her disappointment. "I understand." "I really have enjoyed this," he said, his gaze locking onto hers. "There is something special about you, Britta." "Thank you," she murmured, her heart fluttering at his words. "I've enjoyed it too. It has been so refreshing." As they exited the cafe, Oliver paused, taking a breath. "I'd like to see you again," he said, the intensity of his gaze sending a thrill through her. "How about a picnic? I know a great park nearby." "A picnic sounds lovely," Britta replied, her heart racing at the thought. "I'd like that." "Perfect," he said, a smile breaking. As Britta stepped out of the cafe, the cool evening air wrapped around her like a soft embrace. The stars twinkled above, casting a gentle glow on the streets as she turned to Oliver, who stood just a heartbeat away, his expression intent and inviting. Are you sure you want to plan a picnic? Britta asked, her heart fluttering at the thought. What if it rains? Oliver chuckled softly, his eyes sparkling with mischief. I promised to check the weather forecast, but hey, a little rain can be romantic, right? She felt a blush creeping up her cheeks at his suggestion. Of course, if we have an umbrella, she replied, teasing him lightly. Then I'll bring the umbrella, he said, leaning in a fraction closer. His voice dropped to a more intimate tone. How about this weekend, Saturday? We can pack some snacks and maybe grab some pastries from that bakery you love. Sounds perfect, Britta replied, her heart racing. I can wait. As they walked toward her car, the conversation flowed easily, yet Britta felt a lingering tension between them, a magnetic pull that both excited and terrified her. She recalled her initial hesitation about becoming involved with someone like Oliver, but now, the idea of a picnic with him sent butterflies dancing in her stomach. Do you always plan these elaborate outings? She teased, glancing sideways at him. Only when it is worth it, he replied, a playful glimmer in his eyes. And I think you're worth it. The compliment made her pulse quicken, leaving her momentarily speechless. Thank you, she finally managed, her voice soft. As they reached her car, Britta fumbled with her keys, her fingers suddenly feeling clumsy. The moment felt charged, and she could sense Oliver's gaze lingering on her, making her pulse race. Do you want me to help you with that? He asked, stepping closer, his presence warm and inviting. No, I am okay. Just a little nervous, I guess, she admitted, her cheeks flushing. Why are you nervous? Oliver asked, his voice low and soothing. I don't know. It's just been a while since I've put myself out there, Britta confessed, feeling the weight of her vulnerability. I understand. It's not easy to open up, especially when you've been through a lot. His tone was empathetic, and it made her feel safe, as if he genuinely cared about her feelings. I appreciate that, she said, her tone earnest. But I am really excited about this picnic. I think it'll be fun. Me too, he replied, his smile brightening. I'll bring the good snacks, I promise. Deal, she said, finally managing to unlock her car. But you have to promise to tell me your favorite book before we eat. Oliver laughed, leaning against the car. I'll hold you to that. As they exchanged one last lingering glance, Britta felt the tension between them crackling like electricity. All right, I should get going. It's getting late. Definitely, he said, his voice softening. I'll text you the details tomorrow. Sounds great, Britta replied, her heart fluttering as she opened the car door. Take care of yourself, he said, a hint of sincerity in his voice. You too, Oliver, she said, pulling away. As she drove home, the streets illuminated by street lamps, her mind raced with thoughts of him. Excitement warred with anxiety, and she couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of something new and beautiful. That night, Britta lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, her thoughts a whirlwind of possibilities. The way Oliver looked at her, the warmth of his hand brushing against hers, it all stirred something inside her, a longing she thought had faded long ago. Am I really ready for this? She whispered to herself. What if I mess it up? The doubts gnawed at her, but deep down there was a flicker of hope. As she drifted off to sleep, her mind filled with dreams of picnics and laughter, with Oliver a smile lighting her path. The following day, Britta busied herself with work at the library, the hum of activity providing a welcome distraction. Lily was at school, and the quiet moments gave her room to breathe. Still, her thoughts frequently strayed to Oliver and the upcoming picnic. During lunch, she sat at her usual table, scrolling through her phone. She had received a message from Oliver, and her heart raced at the sight of his name. Hey, just checking in, looking forward to Saturday. Any special requests for the picnic? A smile broke across her face as she typed back. How about a mix of sweet and savory, and I'll bring some fruit? Perfect, I'll bring the pastries. Can't wait to see you again, he replied quickly. The exchange sent butterflies fluttering in her stomach. Each message felt charged, like stones thrown into a still lake, creating ripples that spread through her heart. After work, Britta picked up Lily from school, her daughter bubbling with excitement about the upcoming weekend. Are we going to the park tomorrow? Lily asked, bouncing in her seat. Yes, we're having a picnic. Britta replied, her heart warming at her daughter's enthusiasm. Yay, can I bring my unicorn toy? Absolutely, Britta laughed, her heart swelling with affection. It'll be a fun family outing. As they settled into their cozy evening routine, Britta couldn't help but feel a sense of apprehension mixed with excitement. The idea of introducing Oliver to her daughter weighed heavily on her mind. Would they get along? Later that night, as she tucked Lily into bed, her daughter looked up at her with big, trusting eyes. Mommy, will he like me? Of course, sweetheart. He is a really nice man, Britta replied, brushing a strand of hair from Lily's forehead. Will he be my friend? He might be. Let us just see how it goes, okay? Okay. Lily's smile was infectious, and Britta felt a wave of warmth wash over her. As she turned off the light and closed the door, Britta leaned against the wall, her heart heavy with the weight of her daughter's innocence. The next morning, Britta was a flurry of activity, packing a picnic basket filled with sandwiches, fruit, and the pastries Oliver had promised. Each item was carefully selected, almost like a representation of her hopes for the day. Just as she finished packing, her phone buzzed with a message from Oliver. Ready for our picnic? I am on my way. Can't he wait? She replied, a surge of excitement coursing through her veins. When they arrived at the park, the sun was shining brightly, casting a warm glow over the lush greenery. Britta spread out the blanket on the grass, her heart racing with anticipation. Look, Mommy, it is so pretty, Lily exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. Yes, it is, Britta replied, her gaze wandering as she searched for Oliver. Just then, she spotted him walking toward them, his face breaking into a smile that made her heart skip a beat. Hey there, Oliver greeted, his eyes sparkling with warmth. I brought the pastries. Yay! Lily cheered, her enthusiasm infectious. As Oliver set down the basket, Britta felt a rush of joy at the sight of him. He looked casual yet charming, and the sense of ease between them felt palpable. Did you bring your unicorn? Oliver asked, kneeling down to meet Lily's gaze. She nodded vigorously, holding up her toy. His name is Sparkles. Sparkles, huh? I think he is a great companion for our picnic, Oliver said, his tone playful. Britta watched as Oliver interacted with Lily, his genuine interest shining through. She felt a warmth spread through her chest, and for a moment, all her worries faded away. Let us dig in, Oliver suggested, opening the basket. As they settled onto the blanket, Britta felt a sense of peace enveloping them. This is so much fun. Lily squealed, her excitement bubbling over as they shared stories and laughter. As they enjoyed the spread, Britta felt Oliver's gaze linger on her, a warmth radiating from his eyes. You really put together a lovely picnic, he said, his voice low and sincere. Thank you, she replied, feeling a flutter of warmth at his compliment. It's nice to enjoy a little break from the routine. Absolutely, he agreed, his gaze never leaving hers. There is something special about this moment. Britta felt the rush of emotion at his words. The connection between them felt deep and genuine, and she was surprised by how easily they slipped into more personal conversations, sharing their dreams and fears. Do you ever regret becoming a single mom? He asked, his tone turning serious. No, never, she replied, her heart swelling with conviction. The Lily is my everything, and every challenge has made me who I am. Oliver nodded, a flicker of understanding in his eyes. I admire that. It shows strength, and it is.